Good morning on this relatively cool morning. Actually feels kind of good outside right now. I hope you got plenty of sleep last night. I went to bed very early. I was just very tired yesterday, so I went to bed 9 o'clock. Let's sit up in our saddles and let our body weight be held by our vertebrae and our spine. See if we can become aware of that, because that's what's happening. Let your shoulders just relax as much as possible. Arms hanging down to the side. Perhaps we can take a couple of deep breaths, feeling our belly expand as we do that. Right now we just have very light resistance on. We're turning the legs slowly. Just feeling the hip joints and the knees loosening up. Look, I can make the camera change its aperture. Watch. Dink. Dink. That's funny. Just the act of putting my white hands out there. Changes the camera. So we're just pedaling lightly. Hips are loose. Loosening, knees are loosening, shoulders relaxed, or weight supported and held by the vertebrae. Let's come back to the handlebars now. As we place our hands on the handlebars, we check to make sure our shoulders are still away from the ears and our elbows are still slightly bent, are slightly bent. Weight of our upper body resting on the heel of the hand. Belly is still relaxed, and the spine and the neck are aligned without any curving upwards or downwards. We're just resting on the bike here. Let's add in a little bit of resistance. Now, keeping our pedal speed in the 80-something RPM range. Let's just feel the slightest bit of work in the muscles. Just a very, very small amount. We're trying to notice the muscles warming up. We're trying to follow that. We do that by paying attention to how they feel and how that changes over time as we add a little bit of work. As I've mentioned before, athletes are always paying attention to how their body feels, how the muscles feel. an athlete. Knowing how you're feeling on any given day. Knowing that you might intend to sprint in the next couple minutes and you want to see how your muscles are feeling, how your breathing's doing, hills coming up, how am I feeling? Let's sit up again. Muscles feeling a little better now. Let's put our legs onto this rhythm. Sitting up nice and tall, letting the belly release. Shoulders down, arms loose. Just holding this rhythm for a few seconds. With lighter resistance. Come back to our handlebars. We're going to accelerate our legs up to 100 RPM, leaving the resistance right where it is. And then come back to home base on this rhythm. We'll do that a couple times. As we accelerate our legs up to 100, let's keep in mind that we are decoupling the upper body and the lower body. And we're making those pedal strokes as smoothly as we can. All right, let's do our first one in 3, 2, 1. Accelerate up to 100 RPM. See how stable you can keep your hips on the saddle. Stitch together that beautiful circle. Now return to home base. Slow the legs way down. If you can, pay attention to what that did to your breathing. That wasn't meant to be painful. If that was painful, take some resistance out. It's not supposed to be uncomfortable, really, really challenging. We're starting with light resistance. You ready for your second one? In 3, 2, and 1. Accelerate your leg speed back up to 100. If you need to, you can watch me and notice how stable and calm I am on the bike. Upper body mostly independent of the lower body. And now slow your legs. Sit up for just a second. Allow your legs to find this rhythm. That act of hearing the music, processing it, and outputting it to the legs, and then paying attention to how closely the legs are to the rhythm and making fine adjustments. Coming back up into the brain, processing, aligning to the rhythm. I love that whole process. It's into the body and out, into the body and out. It's listening and paying attention. Okay, for just a minute or so, let's say 1 minute, we're going to add heavy resistance. It feels like a hill here, so let's add that in. This is a very slow cadence. I just want to get some work into the muscles. Let's take this opportunity to focus on the lower back hips and glutes, pushing us over the top. Notice the breath, pick it up. See how relaxed you can keep the upper body. Now this is a little uncomfortable. It's meant to be. Feel the warmth in my muscles, in my legs. Can you feel that? Stay right here. Take your resistance down a little bit now. Just for a second, let's realign to the rhythm. 10 minutes or so. That's the time to exhaustion we're looking for. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. Try placing your hands to the middle of the handlebars. Allow your upper body to be a little more upright. Do you notice sweat now? Do you notice your heart rate coming up? My breathing is definitely picking up now. And I do feel discomfort in the muscles of my legs. Remember that this level of resistance is such that you could hold this 10 minutes or so. If you find you're losing the rhythm now, if you find that your legs are just screaming in agony, that just means you have too much resistance on. Bring it down a little bit. We're going to stay with this. You need to be able to stay with it. wandering, which it very often is. I simply notice that, and I bring my mind back to the music, the rhythm, the feeling in the muscles, my posture, my breathing. I try to be in the moment as much as possible. Approaching the end of the song. Keep your pedal stroke rhythmic, keep it smooth, keep it supple, engage all the way around. Stellar resistance back. Beautiful work. Sounds like an 80s movie theme song. Miami Vice. That's what it reminds me of. We're back to light resistance right now. I've got my legs on the rhythm. Gathering my breath a little bit from that. My breathing got up to about a 7. My scale of 1 to 10. During that seated climb. Alright. Add in resistance. That feels challenging again, as if it's a shallow hill. And again, it should feel like you could hold it 10 minutes or so. Get that feeling again. I know the legs aren't recovered from the last one. That's okay. Check to make sure you have the rhythm. So we're definitely back into work again now. When I give you the signal, we're going to take this resistance and change our cadence. Bring it up to about 85. It should be very, very challenging. But we'll only hold it a short period of time. And 3, 2, 1. Bring your leg speed up to 80 something. Feel those muscles engaging, yeah? I can definitely feel that. This actually feels quite nice. Stay right here. Stay right here. At this moment, I'm noticing the scraping motion through the bottom of the calves and the hamstrings pulling through. I feel my hamstrings quite a bit right now. Release your tension. Find the rhythm of this song.
And my cats, they mean everything to me. I understand them, I see their souls. But if I died today, then those souls would too. Who could care?
Bring in more resistance now. Just gave our breath a little bit of time to recover from that. Let's get back into working levels. And let's visualize together that we're on a flat road.
It's just cause and effect. And if I don't produce it, then someone else will. Who could care? Who could care?
We're one with the bike.
And I said, don't get me wrong, I'm in all of this world and its complexities. But meaning isn't based on the importance of being, but on the relationships in between. I said, meaning isn't based on the importance of being, but on the relationships in between.
Slow your legs down for just a second. Grab some water. Maybe sit up like I am. Take a quick check of how we're feeling, how the muscles are feeling, what your breathing is doing, how sweaty are you, heart rate. My arms are cold because they're sweaty. I'm noticing that. My legs feel very warm. At light resistance, let's come back to our handlebars and bring our legs up to 90 RPM or so. Light resistance, but let's make it so it's in working zone. So in other words, we're not just lollygagging. We're at a very low level work. Let's take 15 seconds now, just 15 seconds to think about stitching together the different parts of the pedal stroke, from the quads, pressing between 2, 4 o'clock or so. That's where the vast majority of power comes from, 2 to 5 maybe, kind of depends. But then we transition into that J shape at the bottom. That's my favorite part of the pedal stroke, transitioning into that J shape and being smooth about it. Feeling the transition from quads to calves and hamstrings. Now my heart rate has stopped slowing down. And it's actually picking up again now. That's the level of work I'm at. Tuning into the posture now. What are your shoulders doing? How's your neck? Is your neck aligned with the rest of the spine? How are your hands sitting on the handlebars? Where is the weight in the hands? My hands are getting sweaty, so they're getting slippery on the handlebars. Let's reach down. We're going to add resistance that at this pedal speed we don't think we could hold for 2 minutes. Add it in now and ask yourself, could I hold this 2 minutes? If the answer is no, perfect. Could you hold it 1 minute? The answer should be yes. but just barely. My legs are uncomfortable right now. I can feel my breathing and heart rate picking up. Bring your resistance down to light. Hold your pedal speed. What'd that do to your breathing? That got my breathing up to 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. And my heart rate accordingly high. Good. Now slow your legs. We're at light resistance now, so slowing the legs. Puts us into active recovery. Now we haven't stood up yet. Your sit bones might be getting tired. You're welcome to stand up like I am.
Connects me to you.
And stretch a little bit and take a little pressure off.
I've been searching all my life, a spark of light that fills me.
Alright, it's time for us to stand. Really come out of the saddle.
Let me into your life. Let me
Allow your legs to find this rhythm first.
I cannot hold it when you move your body. Never done with you.
So I want you to set.
If you're trying to break me, I just feel
Your leg speed
your body.
to the rhythm of the song. Add in the resistance that feels like a moderate hill, not super steep. In other words, you have no real problem holding this rhythm, but you can sense that you're in a hill. We're going to envision a couple of really steep sections to the hill that are very short. So we have shallow, then steep, then shallow. And during the steep sections, we need to rise out of the saddle. Here comes your first one. Remember to add resistance so you basically can't turn the pedal seat. You need to rise up and stand your body weight into it in 3, 2, 1. Add that in. Now come back to the seated climbing, reduce your resistance. If you did that right, you're very out of breath now.
I cannot hold me when you move
And your legs feel it. You ready for a second one?
I
In
just
3,
feel your
2,
body.
1. Crank the resistance. Just a few seconds here. Drive your weight into the pedal. Feel your glutes engaging. Back to seated climbing.
I cannot hold me when you move your body. Come on.
Back to light resistance. Well, my breathing got up to 10. There, on a scale of 1 to 10, my breathing got to 10. I couldn't really speak for a few seconds there. That was extremely challenging to me. And right now I'm integrating that experience. I'm noticing my breath. I'm thinking about the sensation in my legs when I was doing that. I'm thinking about the music. I'm thinking about me when I was thinking about my posture. I'm just trying to integrate that whole thing. How'd I do? How'd I feel? How do I feel now? Let's once again allow our legs to find the rhythm. I am dripping sweat. You can't see it, I don't think. But I am. All right, let's get this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, release any tension in your shoulders. Take a deep breath, feeling the belly expand. All right, our final challenge of the morning. Feel free to sit up like I am, drink some water as I describe the challenge to you. We're going to be on a flat road and we're going to shift gears on our bike so that we feel we're moving along about as fast as we can on the road, in terms of perceived exertion or effort. We'll be at an 8 or 9, moving along that road in a hard gear at about 90 RPM. If we do that right, we will automatically think, how long can I hold this? You'll be questioning your ability to hold it. If that happens, you're exactly in the right spot. And I want us to get to a level where we could hold it about a minute to 2 minutes. 2 minutes, let's call it 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and actualize that. Bring your legs to 90 RPM. Add resistance. Let's get ourselves into a combination where we feel like, yikes, 2 minutes is really hard. And as I said, a perfect way to check for that is to see if doubt has already come into your mind. Another way to check for that is to see if tension is creeping into your body, because we tend to get tense under hard efforts. So look around. What's happening to your breathing right now? I can really feel my legs working. Now, without touching your resistance, slow your legs way down for just a second. I have so much resistance on right now that it's kind of hard to keep my legs turning at this really slow speed. We're going to come back to it. Return to your handlebars. Bring your leg speed up again. And now decouple the upper body from the lower body, settling your hips. Stitching together this pedal stroke, scraping the mud through the bottom, pushing over the top through the heel. Now remember, it's quite a hard effort, so your breathing and your heart rate should pick up almost immediately again. I want you to join with me in one quick acceleration. Leave the resistance where it is. Accelerate to sprint level in 3, 2, 1. Come up over 100. And slow your legs, reduce the resistance. This is not a cool down song. This pedal's super easy at this point. All we're doing is allowing the body to cool down. That's all we're doing. We want to keep the legs turning, but at a very slow speed. We want to have the resistance extremely light. And then we tune into the breath, the heart rate, how the muscles feel in the legs. Oh, there's enough light outside now that I can't change. The light meter on the camera. Yep. So what's your breathing doing? We have extreme light levels on now, just allowing our body to cool down. And let's let the legs slowly come to a stop. And I think it's just so important to take a couple seconds to really become one with your body and notice how your legs feel, and notice your sense of accomplishment and sense of self-efficacy and reduced stress. Notice all these things. It's so important. A lot of times we just zip through it, off to stretch, off to shower, off to work, and we don't take the time to integrate that. All right, let's stand up and drop our heels. And now rotate the back foot to the front and drop your heels. Again, pedals are at 3 and 9 o'clock. Swinging the leg over the bike, holding on to the handlebar saddle just to steady yourself in case you're low in blood sugar. Let's pull back on an ankle and feel a stretch in the front of the leg. Let's switch to the other leg now. Moving to the hamstrings. Use the top bar of the bike or the handlebars or saddle. And just hold a steady hamstring stretch. Now let's switch to the other leg. Okay, beautiful ride. Take a couple minutes to center and drink your water. We'll see you next time.